Hey, welcome back to Great Reviews They All. And today I'm going to be talking about Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, Episode 1. This episode is titled Spirit Week. On HBO Max, they did do a 3 episode premiere. However, for filming purposes, I am only going to watch one at a time so I don't get everything scrambled up because these are 1 hour shows and that's a lot. So I didn't want to get confused, especially with this being a new everything. We had to learn the net characters' names, try to get some understanding because it's all new. Everything is new. Um, but it was really, really good, y'all. This version of Pretty Little Liars is very, it's in my opinion, is darker than our what we know to be Pretty Little Liars. This original sin, I'm just gonna say original sin, it is darker, darker. Um, I mean, they came out the gate with the horror. Um, I wasn't expecting that. It threw me off. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna go as the everything came through the episode, but just an overview overall. OMG. Like I said before, it's giving me a lot of like a good mixture of if you've ever watched the Scream TV series on Netflix, it's giving me a lot of that, and also Carrie, movie Carrie. You've seen Carrie, then you know where but they kind of it's a little mixed to it. But that is what I get from this, and this is like way different. I mean, this ain't no people just disappearing. They actually out of here, okay? So, starting off at the beginning, they start off with the flashback, giving us the what we're starting ground from zero. December 31st, 1999. Um, so it was obviously December 31st, New Year's Eve party. This was all of the parents of the characters that are the main court characters, all of the parents of the girls, they are the ones who were involved. So there was this girl. She's walking through. It looks like she was outside. She's walking around. She's asking for help. It's like it looks like her something is off. I don't know. You cannot tell what happened to her. They didn't say what happened to her. We don't know just yet, but I know we're gonna find out. We're gonna get the deets. Um, I mean, and it's like she's just walking and going through this thing. I mean, it just looked really crazy. So apparently in this town, it for their Halloween, not Halloween. It felt like it was a Halloween party, but it was for New Year's Eve. Everyone's dressed up. Um, so she's walking through, and she goes to the girls that I'm assuming she considered friends, asking them for their help, and like they just completely dissed her. So they're getting ready to do the countdown for New Year's, and she walks up onto this platform thing, and then she proceeds to, you know what, if you watched, um, and then all of a sudden we get all of the girls, they're surrounding her and they're looking at her, and it's like, oh my gosh, because when she got up there, she said, "I bet you hear me now," and then that was it, and that's where they stopped. So then it goes 22 years later. We have a letter. It was dropped off. So I have all of the characters. I have them pulled up. So we have Imogen. It pulls her up. Imogen. Imogen was who was her and her mom. They were sitting out, and her mother's name is Davy. Davy and Imogen. They were at home, right? So they're talking. We find out immediately out the gate that Imogen is actually pregnant. We do not know who the father is at this point. Um, we just know she's pregnant, right? So Karen comes over, and there was something going on. We trying to figure out what exactly is going on. So apparently they are friends, but there's something going on between the two of them. Um, so she hands her Davy a letter and says there was this letter was sent to your door. Davy goes to open it, and it is a flyer from the party from back then. the New Year's Eve party. So she flips it over and there's like this note. I would have to go back to check exactly to see what the note said because it kind of cut a little bit. That's okay. It's okay. Um, and then was it. It looked like her mom got scared. Meanwhile, Karen and Imogen, they are upstairs in her room having a little spit spat. Apparently, Karen is accusing Imogen of kissing her boyfriend, and so she's just like, you know what, forget it. I guess she was over there to get her stuff because they're no longer friends, right? So she's there to get her stuff. She walks out, and she sees like this puddle of water like everywhere in the hallway. Her and Imogen, they follow the trail, which leads to the bathroom. As soon as she opens it, Imogen sees her mom in the tub. You know what? There's blood, water is everywhere, it's overflowing. And that is where it was the first, like, whoa. I was already creeped out because their house is literally right across the street from a cemetery, and I was just like, oh wow, how even more creepier can they already make this show? Um, but yeah, so it stops there. We do get a glimpse on the letter that David was given that we had the infamous A in red, and that was also on the wall by Davy's mom. Her body, it was on the wall. So yeah, so that was it. So that's what happened, and then I mean that shocked the heck out of me. So then we move on, and it's a month later. So Imogen is staying with Davy's friend from back then, same time frame, right? Which her name is Sydney. I'm looking at my phone because I have the cast pulled up until I get their names down pat. So Sydney, and then Tabby is Sydney's daughter. So that is where Imogen is staying. And apparently, the girls didn't even know that their mothers were friends, and so that kind of makes me like, okay, so did y'all stop talking to each other from back then, from what happened? Like, what happened? Like, why are y'all no longer friends anymore? But anyway, so that's where she stands. So they have a whole little talk. So they're supposed to be selling the house. Tabby's mom is supposed to be selling the house. So they have those two. They're supposed to go and drop off the spare key. But once Imogen is walking up to the house, she just stops because she just has that flashback. And it's like, girl, we get it. Like, take your time, process, because that's a lot to process, you know. You literally, all of this happened while y'all were in the house. So Terry's just like, girl, I got it. She goes, she leaves the key under the mat. As they're walking off, the girls are gone. They don't see anything, but we see it, right? We see this weird looking thing, person, or whatever it is, so creepy, staring at them from the front door window. Now, does this not give you Michael Myers vibes? I mean, oh my God, scary. That scared the crap out of me. So somebody was in there, you know, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so they go back to school. This is Imogen's first time coming back to school since the passing of her mom. Imogen is like, oh my gosh, it's freaking Spirit Week. So they go in immediately. Who's the first person that they see with the whole table, the whole Spirit Queen, and all this stuff? It's Karen. Um, Karen, apparently, she never actually reached out to Imogen at all, even though Karen was present, and of course, had to be traumatizing for her as well. But for even regardless of what happened between you and your friend, you still never checked in on her or anything. And then, y'all, she even had the audacity to lean in to Imogen's ear and whisper like the most just terrible thing, like they don't want you, they don't want her there. You know, it was something of that nature. It was just like, girl, I can already tell you right now, Karen, I ain't feeling you, honey. You can go, you can go. Um, but yeah, so Gabby, she's not Gabby, Tabby. She's being really cool with just being there as a friend, even though they may not be best buds, but they're friendly. You know what I'm saying? And she gets it like, girl, you got a lot going on. Um, they even one of the girls, they ended up calling Karen a basic Barbie. I forgot which girl that was, but yeah. Side note, y'all, the whole time for this first episode, I thought they were saying Gabby with a G, but apparently it's Tabby with a T. Okay, we gotta learn their names, everybody. Let me see. So, all of the girls at this particular time frame, every single one of them, they start to receive weird text messages. I caught the one where Tabby, she got the one that was like, oh, what is your favorite scary movie? Did not tell y'all this reminds me of the freaking Scream TV series. What's your favorite scary movie? And then the message said Peeping Tom. I was like, oh man. But then and just now I just put the two together. Peeping Tom. Okay, I'll get to that part. Then we have Imogen. She gets a message, and so when she looks, she sees that thing standing outside, just standing out there watching her. I'm like, okay, so nobody else noticed this out there. You mean to tell me Imogen was the only person who saw that thing standing out there? And I'm gonna say thing until we figure out, y'all, what the heck that is, who it is. Um, but yeah, even Mouse, she got one that was very weird, or Minnie Mouse, she got a weird message. I mean, it was just everybody was getting weird messages. It was just terrible. Let me see who else. Noah got a weird one, and who was the other girl? Farron. Farron, she got a weird one as well. All of them, each one of them, they all received a weird text message. So yeah. Let me see. Then they go over to, and I am skipping some stuff. I'm only going to talk about like the scenes that really stood out to me because again, this is an hour long. And it's a lot of characters within this one episode, and they're flipping through several scenes like within an hour. So Farron, she's a ballerina, and Karen is also in the class in the ballerina, a part of the group as well. Farron gets casted as Black Swan, which Karen tried to basically say, oh, well, you know, whether they chose, you know, you as the swan because, and then Farron's like, because of what? I was just like, oh my God, this girl right here, she is something else. This Karen girl. Oh my goodness. And I wrote down, Karen is terrible because she is. I mean, y'all, I don't like her. But meanwhile in Pittsburgh, Farron, she calls her mom. She tells her mom that she got the part, and so she's like, you know, are you gonna come? You know, and so now we see that there's like some kind of weirdness as to why Farron's mom rarely makes an appearance at that school anymore. But with Farron being the Black Swan, she's like, honey, I'm coming for that. So if they taking out the parents, oh my goodness. Farron, girlie, your mama in Pittsburgh. Let me see. Now, Imogen, skipping to Imogen, she has a terrible day. So with her, she ended up having a whole breakdown. She called it a panic attack. But she basically was talking to the school nurse. I mean, she had on scrubs, so I'm assuming that was the school nurse. And she was just like, you know, that she wants to get rid of the baby. And the nurse was like, Imogen, you're like, are you okay? I mean, you're like 6 months. I mean, ma'am, legally that is no longer an option. And Imogen is just like, you know, me and my mom, we were gonna work together. We're gonna raise the child. The father is is not gonna be involved none whatsoever. Which who is the daddy? Who is the daddy, Imogen? I wonder if it's Karen's boyfriend. We're gonna find out. But I mean, it's just like she was just having a day, and it was like that's a lot for her to deal with losing her mom, and then having to deal with being pregnant. You're by yourself. You feel like you're about, you know, you have no one. And then in my mind, I was thinking, you know, well, maybe adoption might be the best route for you. You know, it just might be, and it might be a better choice for that child, that unborn child. But even the nurse, she made that suggestion. But yeah, so moving on past that, Tabby, going back to the peeping Tom thing, you guys. I just caught on to this as I'm going back over my notes. Tabby has a camera in the boys' locker room. And I was just like, huh? Can you elaborate as to why you have a camera in there? Okay, I'll get back to that. All right, so then we have Noah. I believe that's her name. She obviously got into some trouble, and that landed her in where she has to wear an ankle monitor. She has to be drug tested, so she has to basically check in for every little thing with a parole officer. She was in the middle of doing her community service, and the cop who was there, which turns out to be Karen's dad, y'all. Karen's daddy. He had them all to split up. They're cleaning out like an old abandoned area, so they have to clean out all the junk first because they're gonna redo that whole area. So she was off cleaning up her area that she was assigned to, and come to find out, she looks up. That thing is up there, y'all, watching her. And I'm just like, okay, is that whatever that is, whoever that is, do they live up there? This little abandoned thing, like, and I mean, it was just standing there, and I'm like, okay, it was just for scare purposes. Like, what was going on? Was it gonna come after her? When I say no, it took off so fast. She was trying to go find that cop, and she found the car where he was because he told nobody. He told everybody to come back in an hour, right? So she goes to the car because he's just sitting there with his head thrown back. He's in the car having some relations with what appeared to be a teenage boy. Um, Sir, nothing wrong with you enjoying the same sex. Nothing is wrong with that. Absolutely not. However, that looks like a child. And I'm wondering, is this because I would need to go back? Was that child a part of the community service group? And he's supposed to be doing his community service, and you out here getting some extracurricular activities? Mm-hmm. What A? What you gonna do with that? Now, she runs off because she was just like, okay, I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to see this. I ain't trying to have no issues with nobody. I'm just trying to do my time and be done with it. She takes off. She goes home and basically she acts like she ain't seen nothing. She don't know nothing. No, I don't blame you, girl. I would have did the same thing. But now we get back to Tabby. So she goes to work. She works for a movie theater in town. Awesome. Seems like a really cool, awesome job, right? And so she's talking, and I guess Wes, I don't know if he's the manager or whatever, but he basically, you can tell that there's like some kind of something where he kind of likes her or he has like some kind of obsession with her. It's giving me a weird vibe. Don't know if y'all felt that through the screen, but for me, it felt weird. Um, he offers to take her home. All right, hold that thought. Now they go back over to Imogen. Imogen eventually did go back to her old home that she shared with her mom. She's upstairs looking at her mom's things, just trying to, reminiscing and just trying to think like why, like what happened, why, how did we get here? Why are they saying that you basically took your own life? That's a lot to take in, and especially knowing her mom the way she knows her mom, right? Only she would know that. She finds the flyer. She finds the flyer in the room. So she reads it and she's just like, okay, something ain't right. Something is not right here. Now, going back to Tabby and Wes. Wes is taking her home. He pulls over. He starts to put on his little, what, trying to get with her and let her know, basically, trying to make his move. As he's leaning in to take a kiss, Tabby, she peeps up. The thing is watching them. It's standing there. And of course, Mr. West, the hero, thinking he's gonna get out the car and go look and see, like, hey, what's up? Doesn't that look like a strange person, individual standing there? Why would you want to get out the car with the nothing, no protection, no nothing? You want to get out the car and go, let's see what's up. No. Tabby had to remind him, do you remember these movies? Start this car and let's go. And he pulls out. Thank goodness that he listened to Tabby, because that could have went so bad. All right, if you really know. But anyway, they do that. Now, Tabby finally gets home again. She acts like ain't nothing happened. She goes in her room and pulls the camera out, and all of a sudden we're seeing naked boys in a freaking boys' locker room in the high school. And I'm just like, and she's taking notes. Tabby, what are you doing? Like, I really want to know. And I know we're gonna find out eventually, but how soon? How long we got to wait to find out what she's doing with the camera, with that footage? Anyway, now, Imogen, she ends up, she's having a meeting with the principal. I mean, overall, he's basically trying to convince her, like, girl, we think, you might need to, in your condition, this might not be the best place for you. But really, Imogen's not dumb. She figured it out. Karen is the one that's been complaining to the principal about her being here. Karen, you're mad and you're like extremely bitter, and it's something with Imogen. You're that hurt. You were so quick to believe your boyfriend over your friend. Something is questionable about that. Imogen's just like, okay, well, she got the principal to tell her who it was, and she went to go confront that girl in front of everybody in the cafeteria, and basically just went in on her. Her boyfriend still don't want to say exactly what really happened up in that room. Um, y'all, at this point, when they did the flashback to that, I didn't even realize that Karen has a twin. Like, is it Karen and Karen? Like, what is y'all name? Like, for real. I see Karen. I mean, seriously, is it two Karen? Y'all help me out with that. I think it's two of them, but they both of their names is Karen. What? Okay. Anyway, so she just takes over that and basically confronts her. She lets her know, girl, I'm gonna run for the spirit queen. Now, how about that? And I'm gonna win just like my mom did. Since you got a problem, I'm gonna be here, and whoever else got a problem, I will. And the other ladies, they pretty much said, she got my vote because I don't like that girl either. I'm gonna vote for her. Now, um, Karen is at home. She's sitting down. We find out, and that's how I pieced together who her dad was. I pieced together that she was a twin from the flashback and from the little sit down at the table. Mom is always sitting over there. She's mute. Clearly, dad runs the house a certain way, and that's why she's quiet. Um, that dad is something else. I mean, he's terrible. You out here with a whole secret that you be doing on the side, but you a married man with two young daughters, but clearly you have other interests. I don't know. That's a lot to unpack. But Karen, she gets so angry with her dad. She don't like how her mom is, how she doesn't stand up for herself and lets the dad treat her and them. She takes it out on the boyfriend, and he just wasn't. He ain't going for that. He literally got up and walked out, literally. And I'm pretty sure he told her to f off. But anyway, Farron, she was actually working, not working out, but she was practicing. She has scoliosis, so she has to do a little extra for her to, be the best ballerina that she can be. Let me see. Hopefully, we'll y'all. Hold on. Okay, so sorry, y'all. I had to take care of some things that come back. So picking up where I started from, pretty much Farron, she was she was practicing for Black Swan. She ended up seeing the thing standing at the door. So when she spun around, it was gone. And so she was like hightailing it out there, almost like she was trying to see what she saw. And I was just like, girl, um, I think, honey, I probably would have grabbed my things and ran home. Also, if Farron's mom is in Pittsburgh, who does she live with? Like, is she with her dad? Like, or is she with a family friend? Like, who does she live with? We'll figure that out, I'm sure. So, now at some point throughout the same night, the janitor sees um, the thing walk through the school and go like out of the school because clearly he was there and went into like this little shed thing that was out there or whatever. And so he follows him, right? Goes in, he doesn't see him anymore, but he sees like all the stuff that the thing was plotting. And so he ends up kaput in the end. They, the next day, when everybody comes back to school, like all heck breaks loose. All of the girls, things are being done to Karen, like left and right. And all of the girls are being framed. So they all end up in freaking detention. Um, Basically, they are all talking, and then they, start to realize, like, oh my gosh, this is why I'm here. This happened to me, and they said it was me. This is why I got put in here. And they start to think that maybe Karen is the one who did that to them. So, because, they were basically against her and not doing what she wanted to do, right? Or you did something to her, period. So she was trying to get you back. Basically, that's what they all came up with. So in the end, after all of that is said and done, um, make sure I didn't miss nothing. After all is pretty much said and done, Imogen just like, oh yeah, so we're gonna get together, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get Karen, and then they said they're going to take her out, and I'm just like, are you serious, Imogen, or were y'all just saying it because that's a really strong word to use, honey? So were you just saying kill her spirit, or I mean, you know, y'all want to get her back, but not to that extreme, right? So that was pretty much my review of the show, y'all. I really enjoyed it. It was very scary, very it was tense. It had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to go into watching the second episode. I will do that. It's three of them, so I want to get caught up. Um, and I will come back with more reviews. And y'all let me know what y'all thought about this season premiere. Um, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell button so you'll be notified when I post another video about Original Sin. All right? All right. Well, thank y'all for watching again, and have a wonderful day. And I hope y'all are enjoying your day and your weekend wherever you are. Bye, y'all.